Happy New Year!
I'm going to have a sip right now.
Yeah, I'm going to have one too, actually.
Let's pregame this video. So today we're going to be sharing with you what New Year's Eve and New Year's Day is like in the Netherlands, which was pretty surprising to us.
Yeah, slightly different than we experienced in the U.S. But from the second we came here and the second we experienced it, we loved it. So we're going to tell you about it.
It's going to be a few changes coming up, though. This year saw the end of public purchasing fireworks. So we'll get into that. Let's just start by saying in the U.S., there's certain things that happen on New Year's that we were used to. There's usually a municipal fireworks show, and then you might watch the ball drop on New Year's Eve in Times Square.
Well, we happen to live in New York City, but it seems like the country would tune into everything leading up to the ball dropping in Times Square, New York City.
And, you know, you have a glass of champagne and you kiss someone at midnight.
Yeah.
So that's what we thought it was like here. And then we came here and discovered it was quite different from that.
Yeah. So going into New Year's Eve, there is a tradition here where people go and get Oliebollen.
So Oliebollen are oil balls, and they're very similar to donuts, but so good. Oh my gosh, they're incredible. They're one of my favorite things. I was not ready for just how good these are. Yeah. But around Sinterklaas time, so mid-November, sometimes earlier now, we lived in Schiedam.
Schiedam, yep.
They would put it up, I think, in September. You would go to these Oliebollen stands and buy them. And
incidentally, they have them all over the Netherlands, by the way, these Oliebollen stands.
Every town has one. The week before New Year's Eve, Albert Heijn starts selling them. Jumbo, Lidl, they all have bags of Oliebollen or vats of Oliebollen.
Yeah, but it's not as good as going. You got to go to the stands.
Yeah, the stands are amazing. Yeah. So what happens is you might get an Oliebollen here and there throughout the last few months of the year, but on New Year's Eve, people like to celebrate with a glass of champagne and an Oliebollen. Some people make their own, some make apple beignets, but Oliebollens are the thing. Last year we waited in line for, I think it was 2 hours.
At least,
to get ours, and you
was
want them fresh. You really want them fresh.
Yeah, I have to say it was worth the wait. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So we had to be part of that tradition. Boy, do we love our fried balls of goodness.
Careful who you say that to, honey.
Oliebollen!
You got the music for it. Stress.
That's what I love.
Ja, dankjewel. Je hebt het goed gedaan, mijn vriend.
So you have your Oliebollen, and then you have your champagne, of course. We got our champagne. We got our champagne. We wouldn't forget the champagne. It's got to have a sip now. And then you go home or to a party. And the other tradition that we love here is 2000 songs. So the 2000 songs starts playing on Christmas Eve, and it's set to finish at just before midnight on New Year's Eve. And it's voted on publicly. Every year, except I think 3 years, Bohemian Rhapsody has been the number one song.
Yeah.
I see a little silhouette on the mountain.
So that's when they hear it.
They time it beautifully too. I don't know. I mean, just over the many years they've done it, it's just about midnight where Bohemian Rhapsody finishes up. And you're into the new year.
Yeah. So. And NPO, they have their DJs playing them around the clock. You can turn on the TV channel or the Spotify channel throughout that week and catch the 2000 as it's playing live. And it's really great that these 2000 songs, everyone's listening to it at the same time. It's a shared communal experience. I just love it. But yes, it always ends with Bohemian Rhapsody. You'll see the party that NPO has going up to midnight, New Year's Eve. You have this, and people can actually join via webcam. They might put you on kind of like a kiss cam or something. You might suddenly pop up on screens if they choose you out of all the people that they can see at home.
Every time I see it, I always wish I was there. It looks like it's really a good time.
Yeah, and it's multi-generational too, which is terrific. It's not like it's just the party scene or it's just for younger people or older people. It's like a whole mix of different generations having a good time together.
Yeah.
So we have our Oliebollen in hand, we have our champagne, we have our 2,000 songs running, getting close to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Then the fireworks.
Yes, the fireworks.
I cannot tell you how much of a, can I use the term, culture shock it was to experience fireworks here for the first time.
You know, usually you have to drive or travel to get a good vantage point. I was so excited when I moved in with him in Brooklyn because he had a window, our bedroom window could see the fireworks from Prospect Park. And we thought, wow, this is incredible. We don't even have to leave our house.
You could barely see them. I mean,
And,
it was.
I have a video showing you. So this is the view
Yeah.
of the fireworks from our bedroom window in Brooklyn that we were so excited that we could see. And then this is the fireworks from our bedroom window
in Schiedam.
Yeah.
And when I tell you it seemed like a war zone, I'm not kidding you. We just sat there, and at first it was a little bit, it kind of freaked us out a little bit until we kind of got used to it. It went on all around us. We could look back over our rooftop and see it going off way behind us, in front of us, and it just didn't stop for a couple of hours.
And you have to understand, this was a town that had banned fireworks.
Yeah.
For the last few years. So this was I don't even know what it would look like in a town that hadn't banned them. They were shooting them under cars.
Yeah.
They shot them under our bikes. We were lucky they didn't catch
We
fire.
kind of get an idea of why they banned the fireworks.
Well, every year there's bad accidents. You get kids that lose a hand.
Yeah.
Some people lose their lives. So this year, the majority of the Dutch were in favor of the ban. This was the last year you could do it. There's only 3 official days in the Netherlands that you can buy fireworks legally. Leading up to New Year's Eve, and there were people waiting in line for hours to
Buying
get them.
boxes. I mean,
Carloads.
yeah, carloads of stuff. And we saw them right outside our window here, unloading their cars for New Year's Eve. So we kind of knew what we were going to get into. So
Yeah, much more was sold this year because of the upcoming ban.
Yeah.
So next year, the ban is going to be in place.
the sky was just full, and we loved it actually. But it's,
I went to bed at 4 a.m. on New Year's Eve, and the fireworks were still going.
Yeah.
Not full blast. They were starting to be quieter, but they were still going off at 4 a.m. You know, they start shooting them off a few days early. You'll have little incidences of fireworks going off throughout the day and night, which makes it kind of hard to shoot videos because we had to wait till New Year's Day to film this for you. So we could avoid all of the fireworks blasting in the background.
and
so
if
you
you
could hear
hear
us.
if you hear them blasting, it's out of our control.
Yeah.
So,
But leading up to it, you know, people start keeping their dogs and cats inside because it's
Wisely.
It's it's bad for them. They can get startled into traffic and that sort of thing. So
we don't know how much it's going to actually affect. You know, people might
Yeah.
still stock up. You know,
they might go over to Germany.
or
A lot of people already go outside of that 3-day window that you can legally have fireworks here. They go over to Germany and get them.
Yeah.
And Germany's also considering a ban, but it's not in place for them for this coming New Year's. So
I'm going to miss the spectacle, but I totally understand. We understand why the ban is in place. So
yeah,
hey,
he likes things that go boom.
I do. Guilty pleasure.
In the East, they do carbide shooting. They take a milk jug and put a hole in it. There's calcium carbide and water inside, and then just with the spark of a torch at the hole at the base, it'll fire it off. We used to fire the lids off, but that became kind of dangerous. So most people now put like a basketball on top and they blow the basketball off. But they can be small, or they can take the theme of the milk jug and make it extremely large like a cannon and fire those off. So all along the eastern side of the country, you will hear lots of carbide shootings. So that's part of it. But then you also have in Daundorp and in Scheveningen, they have bonfires. And there's bonfires throughout the country as well.
And they broke a record, didn't they? It was
They broke a record.
2015, 2016?
Scheveningen holds the Guinness Book of World Records of the largest bonfire. There was one year where the winds were very strong and it became a disaster zone because people had to be evacuated. It damaged houses, damaged the environment, caused gardens to burn. There was all kinds of ash flowing into Den Haag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. So now, like this year,
They wisely, take a check of the wind and the weather before they begin the bonfires.
Yeah, so this year it was supposed to go off at midnight. They do fireworks and then they do the bonfire. Because high winds at midnight, they changed the bonfire lighting to, I think it was 9 p.m. And you can also see online, there's live webcams from Scheveningen Beach, the Strand, so you can actually see it if you're not able to be there. Yeah, you've got those going off too. Okay, so Oliebollen in hand, glass of champagne in hand, Bohemian Rhapsody on the TV, your loved one by your side. You've got the fireworks going off. Now, it's after midnight, you kiss, you drink your champagne, you eat your Oliebollen, but there's one last thing you have to do before you can actually say you celebrated New Year's Eve, and that is the Oudejaarslot. Oudejaarslot is the state lottery, and the winnings there, it's a good odds that you're going to win something from €2.50 to 30 million euros. And they had 200 Mini Coopers they were giving away. You can buy a full ticket or a half ticket.
This year was 30 euros for a full, 15 for a half.
Yeah, so half you get half the prize. If it's a Mini Cooper, you get like half of the financial equivalent of the price of the car.
Yep.
At midnight, you check your lottery tickets. They sold something like 8 million lottery tickets, and this is a country of 18 million people, so that's a lot of people buying a lot of lottery tickets.
Yep.
And the odds are good that you're going to get something. I think it's something like half and half that you'll win something.
Yeah, you may not win the entire pot, but you can win a really nice amount, actually.
Yeah, or at least get part of your ticket price back.
Yeah.
So it's worth the gamble for a lot of people here. So you check your ticket, and then you lull yourself to sleep over the sound of fireworks to get up early in the morning for the New Year's dive.
Speaking of Scheveningen, the next morning, they have their
New Year's dive.
The New Year's dive. What is it called?
Now they have them throughout the country, so if there's a lake nearby, the people will do it in the lake, etc. But Scheveningen is a large one that's put on by Unox, which is a soup maker. So you get your Unox hat. They have tents. You go into the tents and change your clothes. They have guards there to watch it.
Yep.
They do a warm-up to get you ready, and then everyone at noon runs into the surf.
Folks, by the way, we were going to do it this year.
And last year.
And last year, but both years they had to cancel it because of high winds and inclement weather. So we were getting ourselves all psyched up to do this, and it was canceled, so we couldn't do it.
Because it was just too dangerous for people, that many people, 10,000 people to run into the sea. So we missed out on that. But yeah, and afterwards they give you some hot cocoa and some Ayrton soup. And we also recommend Buncharted's video on this. That was the one that made us want to do it. We saw that when we were still living in the United States. And it's a great video. We'll link to it in the description below, give you a little taste of what it's like.
So if in the future you want to do this, we're going to do it next year, hopefully. But one thing we kind of saw from the Buncharted video is there are so many people that want to do this that as you approach the water, you are kind of held up. You don't get a chance to dive right in the way. The only way I would do it is to dive right in.
Yeah, you need to dive right in. But the thing is that they're all going in a wave.
Yeah.
So when the other people hit the water, then have to go back through the same crowd. So it gets a little knotted up.
A little unpleasant, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But we still want to do it. 2 years in a row we've tried. And one day I will have that Unox hat because I want one of those so badly.
I want the Ayrton soup. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, perfect thing. We want to thank everyone for joining us this year on the channel, for allowing us into your living rooms, your phones, whatever, to experience our inburgering here in the Netherlands.
We love you all.
Time.
We love your suggestions and your comments. Please keep them coming along. And if we're missing anything here, like we thought we have all the traditions, but if there are other traditions, please let us know about them in the comments.
And we have a slew of videos. We have 2026 planned. We have some videos coming up that we're quite excited about. We hope that you'll continue to enjoy them. So thank you so much. Happy New Year. We hope you have a happy, healthy,
prosperous,
very
New
prosperous,
Year.
best year yet for you in 2026.
Happy 2026, folks.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.